All right. What do we got? Mitch. Mitch from Six Nation. How's it going, Mitch? All right. We all know you enjoy your video games. Yes, I do. But I was wondering if you have enjoyed playing any board or card games in my life so far. Mitch. Good question, Mitch. Absolutely. I grew up on that shit. Um, Monopoly. I love Monopoly. I will monopolize you. I've had, I'll play Monopoly for hours. When it comes down to it. I haven't played in a while, but I like Monopoly, definitely. And if you take my race car, I'll fuck you up. Just kidding. Frustration is good, also known as Trouble. So, I mean, it's the same game, but under different names. You have this pop button in the middle, and you pop it, and there's a dice in the middle. And so you get to go around when you pop it. So if someone lands on your space, then you get kicked back to your home. So frustration or trouble, either way, it's a good one. Sorry. I love Sorry. Sorry is a very fun game to play. You have to get from your home base, or from a start point, all the way around the board back up to your home base. And you can only get out of your home base by drawing a number 1 card or a number 2 card. And then the rest of the cards are numbers that you can do things and go. And if you land on a space, then once again you kick someone back. And yeah, Sorry is great because Sorry, if you have someone in your home, or not in your home, but in the starting point, you get a Sorry card, you get to take someone out of your start and knock someone else off the board, put them back, and that's why it's called haha sorry, but you're totally not sorry. It's like, saying sorry to your ex-girlfriend that you spray painted her dog, but you're really not. Please don't do that. I'm not, shit. I am not backing you abusing animals or spray painting animals. But, it's like if you do something that pisses off your ex-girlfriend, you're like, sorry, whoops, when you're totally not. In this case, in the game of Sorry, it's like, sorry, but you're not. So, yeah, Sorry's good. Card games, well, there is some drinking games I play with my buddies. One is Drunk Driver. Love playing that game. It definitely, you can either whiz through it quick without any penalties, or you're stuck going through like 2 or 3 decks and you are just gone, and it's hilarious. Another drinking game is Waterfall. I would call it Waterfall. It's kind of like King's Cup, but much different, if that makes any sense at all. It's similar, but it's not the same. And I can't remember some of the details off the top of my head. The way you play it is cards ace to 6. In the red, you take that amount of drinks. If it's in the black, you give away those amount of drinks. 7 is multiples, so you go around the group counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Every time there's a 7 or a multiple of 7, you clap. If someone fucks up, then you drink. 8 is a bathroom card, or smoke break card for the smokers in the group. 9 is make a rule. So for example, you can't laugh. If you laugh, you drink. You can't point, or you drink. You can't say a swear word, or you drink. We had a really brutal one, and we sounded like cavemen. The rule was, you can't say a word that has the letter E in it. Try to do that. It was pretty rough, and it was pretty fun. Jack is questions. So the object is to make other people laugh. You can ask anything. And of course, people's minds go into the gutter right away, right? So it's like, is it bad that it burns when I pee? Or, why does Mark's girlfriend's vagina smell so bad? The object, obviously, her vagina doesn't smell bad, but the idea is to just make someone laugh. So you don't even have to get dirty. You can just say, why is the cake a lie? And people are just ready to laugh, So you go around. So that's pretty cool. Hold up, that was 8, is 9. We got 10. Jack is no. See, I can't remember all the rules right now, but that's another card game I play. Non-drinking games, play Meldrum and Big 2. Meldrum is similar to Rummy, but not quite. And then Big 2 is obviously Big 2. So those are some of the games that I enjoy. Thanks for your question, Mitch. Good to see you on here, buddy. What else we got? Tekkens. Oh, dude, we were playing Uncharted today. We were fucking. Oh, it was good times. We actually had a good party going on too. So Tekkens asks, I know my favorites are 8 and 10, but in your opinion, what are your favorite Final Fantasies? Oh, no, you didn't go there. Oh, man. So this is going to be a bit. um, I actually, the first time I saw Final Fantasy, I had no fucking clue what was going on. I was in grade 6 at the time, and during Christmas, my mom took me out to a family friend, and her son was playing Final Fantasy 1. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm leveling up. And he was grinding. Pretty much at the I remember vividly, he was just fighting lots of imps all the time at the beginning of Final Fantasy before you fight Garland for the first time. And I didn't get him. Like, this is fucking boring because the first Final Fantasy it like types out every action. It's like I was like into Mega Man and Contra and all that shit. So I was bored. I didn't really get into RPGs like the turn-based RPGs until much later. I was in between grades 5 and 6 when I rented Lufia and the Fortress of Doom. And to this day, the Lufia series, in my opinion, is one of the best RPG series. I can't get enough. Maybe I'll do a classic series on it, but fuck, that's what got me. So Lufia and the Fortress of Doom, just loved it. Music was great, characters were great, everything was awesome. And after that, the next game I rented was Final Fantasy II in North America, so obviously it's Final Fantasy IV. And the depth of the story, the music, the characters, the battle system, I had a fucking nerdgasm all over the place. I replayed that game so many times over the years. I just fell in love, and as soon as I played that, I'm like, oh my god, this is some good shit. This is some good shit. So I went on to Final Fantasy 3 or 6 from there, and you guys know what happened to me with Final Fantasy. I told you the story when I was cleaning out my room about how that fucking Japanese guy totally shystered me and my mom. I played Final Fantasy 3 so much that the guy gave me Final Fantasy 6. I thought it was like a whole new Final Fantasy. It was just Final Fantasy 3, all in Japanese. So despite the fucker, I played through the whole Japanese one, even though I couldn't understand Japanese. So fuck you, buddy. Final Fantasy 7 was just mind blasting. I remember renting a PlayStation because I didn't have the money to buy one yet. Rented it, and I didn't have a memory card, but I'd rented the PlayStation and Final Fantasy 7, so I couldn't turn it off. Fuck. So what I did was I just kept playing, and I remember that I had chills. I was in my room all by myself because I was in a foster home at that time. I had my own TV in my room, a 19-inch TV, or no, 23-inch TV. I was fucking balling. Grade 11, fucking 23-inch TV in my room. And all in the dark. And this is the first time I got into the mansion at Nibelheim. And the background, that's when you just find out that Sephiroth has just gone crazy. And that background music, dun, like hairs on end because you know shit's gonna go down. It was so good. The opening to Final Fantasy VIII just was like, oh my god. That opening set the stage, and even though I remember I didn't get the junction system at all, I had no fucking clue why my guys were not getting more powerful even though they were leveling up. It's like, what the fuck is this shit? How come the battles are so fucking hard? I didn't want to drain magic that long, but I got to the part where you just go into the very lower levels. I believe it's just after Disc 1 or just before the end of, no, it's Disc 2 actually. I got to Disc 2 just before you, oh god, I can't remember the guy's name. He's part of the Shumi tribe. He helps fund Garden. And just as you're going down into the oil, all that shit, I realized that you have to junction the spells, and that's why it was important. So I said, fuck this shit, and I started all over again. Just draining everything. So I was like a super beast Hulk powerhouse going through the rest of the game, and it was just Final Fantasy. I remember I almost bawled my eyes out the first time. Spoiler alert! By the way, I almost bawled my eyes out when Renoa was lost in space, and you see, she's far away, and you can't get to her. And then the camera zooms out, and all you see is just space and the stars, and it's just dead quiet. And then you see Renoa slowly just floating by herself across the screen, alone. And it's just like, fuck! Some of you guys are like, what a fucking pussy. Like, fuck you, whatever. I was just like, ugh. And it was slow, too. It was, like, agonizingly slow. And I didn't want it to finish because I'm like, this is boring. I'm like, this is Renoa. I didn't really care to use her as a character in battle, but I understood. Squall was kind of like me in a way, all introverted and shit. So it was like, all this effort to kind of reach out to her, and now she's, like, dead. What the fuck? Final Fantasy IX was cool. I didn't really get it. I got some of the basic storyline and the premise, but I had to play through it a couple times before I realized how serious and dark it really was. Like, don't let the cartoonish characters fool you. Like, Final Fantasy IX covers like some pretty deep stuff, almost like genocide and things like that. It's deep, very deep. And it took me a while to really realize that, because when you get around disc 3, that's when the shit really starts getting heavy. Very heavy. And I love that. Really great music as well. I mean, all of them has great music. Final Fantasy X was just, well, Final Fantasy X is just sex in video game form. And I almost bawled again when, spoiler alert, Titus, however, a lot of people pronounce it, but Titus actually realizes when they're in the Elbed town that's trashed, and he finally finds out that Yuna has to die, and he's just like, fuck. That just hit me like a ton of bricks. And because I was like that too. I'm like, because I want them to hook up, it'll be great, save the world, get together, have a couple drinks, have a couple kids. That, and the ending was like anticlimactic. It's like, no, we did everything, and you can't. What? It was just like, so. 12 was all right. 12 was all right. I got the collector's edition. 12 hurt me personally, because I went through the whole game. I had spent 65 hours, got to the final boss, and I couldn't beat him. And so one day I was sick, and I figured, you know what, I'm going to play through again, do it better, kind of like what I did with Final Fantasy VIII. And in my sickness, because I was calling in sick from work, I accidentally overwrote the 65-hour file. Gone. And so I had no choice but to play through. I beat the fucker, though. Finally beat him. Ugh, annoyance. Final Fantasy 13 I haven't beat yet. I got to the boss, and I couldn't beat the final boss. And then my PS3 died, and I lost everything. So, starting over again there. So to answer your question, long-winded. I love pretty much all of them. The only two I don't like are Final Fantasy V and Final Fantasy X-2. Final Fantasy 11 and 14 don't count. They shouldn't even have numbers because they're online based. So they should be Final Fantasy Online and Final Fantasy Online 2, in my opinion. I'm not saying that they're bad games. Well, Final Fantasy 14, from what I've heard, is a pretty nasty. Final Fantasy 11 should be Final Fantasy Online, period, in my opinion. But I have to go with Final Fantasy 4. I have to. I have every version of Final Fantasy 4. I have the Super Nintendo US Canadian version. I have the Game Boy Advance. I have Nintendo DS. I have ROM. I have every version. And there's going to be a remake on PSP, and that's what I think it deserves. No hate towards DS or Nintendo DS or whatever players, whatever. In my opinion, when I love something, I want it to be on the best platform and look the best when they remake it. And I've been begging for a PSP remake. PSP, do it the right way. And thankfully, I've seen trailers, and it looks fucking like, do it justice. And yeah, I'm gonna drop the cash on it, man. I'm gonna drop it hard. I'm gonna drop it like it's fucking hot. And I'm excited for that, man. It's going to be so good. Plus, they have the sequel as well. The sequel is only available on mobile phones, I think, in Japan. So I'm really pumped for that. So pumped for that. So yeah, Final Fantasy IV is my favorite. Not by much. A little bit. But it was the first one, so that's why. I love pretty much all the other ones, though. So thanks for the question. Tekkens, we're going to play with you again soon, buddy, probably. Excuse me. Wow. That's for another drink. Cheers to you all. Are you asleep yet? All right. Next one is from Corinne. Hey, comment. I feel you'll be doing some videos on the Uncharted beta and Uncharted 3. I hope you'll be sticking with your current format. In other words, don't change. No, I don't plan to. Thank you. I appreciate that. And hopefully I will have the time to be able to go as in-depth with UC3 as I did with UC2. But I do have, running my business and going to work full-time, and so hopefully I'll have, be able to get that time in there. Now the question is there a video or video series that you found particularly rewarding to do? That's a unique question. I wasn't expecting that. I'd say you're making me work for this one, Corinne. A lot of them have been rewarding because so many of them have had really positive impacts on people. And that's just been the whole point of everything that I've done on this YouTube channel, is to have a positive impact. Our hobby that we all enjoy, which is gaming, there's so many different aspects to it, and we all work hard for our money, right? And especially in these times, and a lot of people are getting fired and let go, and the economy's bad, and there's a lot of needs that we all have for our money. Family, budgets, debt. And in this way, for people who have put an investment in a game or that I like, if I have a way that I can help people enjoy it more, then I want to do that. I think the reason why I'm doing this is because I was shown that this is what people do. Not everyone, but people that I liked, they did this.